Good afternoon and welcome to the next episode of the At the Workshop With, and we're here with Sam and Rob Jacklin in Manchester. Nice little trip over, and we're here in the workshop with the lads. So we'll first of all say good afternoon to Robert.
Hello.
Afternoon, and afternoon to Sam.
You're right.
Afternoon. Thank you. We're going to have a quick word with Sam and Robert in a moment, but first I just wanted to mention a few things that are happening at the moment. The main one, of course, being in Manchester, is going to be the Belle Vue Stadium. Now, we all know, after speaking to Steve Rees a couple of weeks ago, that there's a housing application gone in, and there is a big petition online at the moment about the stadium itself. Currently, I think it broke the 5,000 barrier this morning, 5,000 signatures, but we definitely need more people to sign that petition to try and delay or try and even keep the stadium open for the racing, because that would, of course, for my opinion, kill the sport in this area of the country. So please do go on to the Save Belle Vue Action Group, which is on Facebook. Have a look on Twitter as well, the @VueSave on Twitter. Go on to the petition website as well. You can get that through the links. Get people at work to sign it. Anybody who's not even been to the stadium, just get them to sign it and see what we can do to try and assist with the keeping of the stadium open. Also, we just want to have a quick word about the Motorsport with Attitude show. That's on the 16th and 17th. Rob and Sam are both going to be there, and we're going to talk about that with the lads in a moment. 16th and 17th of February, at the moment, there's just under around about 300 cars that are booked to be on display and be in the live action arena as well. We've got things like Formula 1, Formula 2 autographs, hot rods, rallycross, speedway, pickup trucks, drifters, drag carts, plenty of things as well, tractor pulling, even bangers, classic cars, and a lot more. Now, it's just 25 quid for a ticket for the weekend, that's all. So that saves you a fiver if you do buy them in advance. And if you do buy them in advance on the website, there's also a chance of winning a sort of drive with Barry Lee as well, the Oval legend of Barry Lee, doing something there with the hot rod, I believe, or the rallying. Also, as well, don't forget, kids free. So where else can you take your kids to a show where they're under 15 and they'll be free? So if you want to get involved, if you've got a car you want to put on display, get in touch with the organisers. If you're going to be going, get your tickets bought. Let's get down there. There's going to be a band and DJ as well. The DJ, of course, is Jake, DJ Key, Nigel's son. He'll be doing that. And there's going to be show awards, even a soapbox derby as well. So we're going to try and get that arranged as well. So get your tickets from the Motorsport with Attitude website, which is www.motorsportwithattitude.com. So please do go on there, have a look at everything about the Motorsport with Attitude show, and we'll certainly, hopefully, get lots of us down there. Now it's time to have a chat. So anybody who's got any questions, if you're watching, we've got quite a few people watching already, just text them on and let us have some questions for the lads as well. So we're going to have a quick word with Rob and Sam now, actually. So first of all, if we just talk about pre-F1 for both of you. So if you'd just like to let us know what your pre-F1 racing was. We start with Sam first.
Yeah, we followed with my dad for however many years before. Both of us, well, Robert started with the Mini first in 2004, then I followed in 2007. We did that until we were 16, probably our most successful time we'll ever have. And then we had a year off then to build a V8, which we did. We started building our own, and then we saved up for a bit and bought one that were going cheap between us, split it between us, everything split between us. And to be fair, on the build, so none of us had a car, we had to share the two of them. Okay. And then we swapped it each week, and after that we're doing the V8, and the V8 was good, and we always said when we get to Red Top, we'll buy a Formula 1, and that's what we did. The first month of 2 years ago, I think it is now, 2017, we went from yellow to red, won a couple of finals, and sold the car the following, a couple of weeks after we won the first final, and then got Dave Bez's car, and then Robert followed suit at the end of that year. So, no, and that's where we've ended up. 2 was a Formula 1 now, build another one, and yeah. Happy days.
Excellent. And Rob, did you jump? You didn't jump straight into Formula 1, did you? Did the V8?
I did. Went from Ministox from age of 10. Okay. my dad was still racing at the time, and then 2010 I went from Ministox to Formula One, raced
straight in.
6 meetings or something like that. And then
Wrecked it.
Yeah, wrecked it a few times. Scunthorpe, I wrecked it.
Oh well.
Massive learning curve. Yeah, and then went on Christmas meeting at Kings Lynn. Terrible conditions. But I went and won the Whites and Yellows Championship there, which I'll throw in because Sam don't recognise it. But so I won the Whites and Yellows Championship there at Kings Lynn, and then we had a year out, like Sam said. We lost Corona sponsorship, which was a massive blow really, and then but all the other sponsors like clubbed in, and then we got the V8 and went from there really.
Excellent. So, and then just back to your minis, any memorable races, any tussles with any drivers that you enjoyed at the time, or is it just a case of it's just you enjoyed the racing?
There was a few memorable races for me. I mean, the one that stands out, I was thinking, I saw the questions on Stocksnet, one that stands out was Scunthorpe. I went there first time, won Heat 1, won Heat 2, it was a British Championship, and then the pressure got to me I think in the final, and I came home third, but yeah, that's one that stands out for me, and Sam had a bit more success in it. But
no, we did we did very well in the minis, to be fair. From what we built a brand new car, and it was outstanding, to be fair. I've had 2 thirds in the world final. I've had 3rd and 4th in the British. Like I did the same as Robert, won both heats at Coventry. Got to lead in the for the final. Thought happy days, here we go, and got taken out. I mean, he paid his price for that in the end. But no, it was one of them. I thought that was the only time we're going to win a major title, and that run away from us. But what a meeting that was! That was class. But to be honest with you, minis were the best time of our life. You know, we're doing 50 meetings a year or whatever it was. We were running it in a transit van with veggie oil in it. It was every penny we had we put into it, and we had like year-long battles with Max. He was a man to beat, and he beat us. So but you know, we were up there in the points. We had really good success in the minis, and then we hit reality when we met the big boys.
Okay. And was it a case that because your dad was involved in Brisca, it had to be the Brisca minis, or was you any thought at all of doing the Orchid, because it's a little bit tamer, I think, isn't it? It's just more nudge and spin, that formula.
No, to be honest with you, with racing at Belle Vue and stuff that the ORCI ones don't, we never really came into question. And we bought the first mini for Robert cheap off Richard Bryan's now mechanic, and yeah, we went from there. That I don't know who got that car now, but when Robert had that for 3 years. Yeah, we built Robert a new car for when I started, and I had his old one, and then it went on, and then we built a new one for me, and I had Robert's for a shale car when he retired, and then our Alex had my shale car the year after I retired as well, and we sold the tarmac car. So yeah, it was always going to be Brisca. There was never really a transfer ORCI. And
just the last one about the minis, looking at the drivers that are there now and how some of them have come through the last year or two and really took to F1, do you get a chance to watch the minis much at the moment? And if you do, what do you think of the standard of the racing they have now?
I've watched a bit, but only really in passing. You don't really get a chance at the meeting, but the standard of what they're racing at now is, I think it's miles better than what we were. There's no, like the Formula Ones, there's no rubbish cars out there anymore. Like my tarmac car that we said was one of the best cars out there, I don't think gets raced anymore. I don't know who's got it now, but I remember it not being one of the best cars out there anymore. The money they're spending on them, it's not cheap for what it is, but it's top class in it, and that's what it is. So. Okay. But no, they're doing really well, aren't they? Well.
Brilliant. Right, so we've got a couple of cars in the garage here. Now, I've got to be honest, I'm absolutely clueless about previous cars and previous owners, histories of cars and things. You know, paint a car a different colour, I haven't got a clue who the previous owner was. So let's have a look at the two that are in at the moment, and if you can give me a bit of history on them and what you're doing on them at the moment. So we'll have a look at the one that's on the actual floor. So if one of you just give us an idea of what's going on with this one.
So the one on the floor is my new one that I'm currently building. Hopefully, it'll be out at Kings Lynn. That's what we're aiming for. It's the engine from the heritage car. I know someone asked on Stuxnet
Yeah,
about
I'm
it.
going to come to those. Yeah.
It's the engine from the heritage car, and then everything else is built from the ground up, basically.
Right. Okay.
Me and my uncle have built it. Long nights. Yeah.
And
So
can we just show us around it, or is there anything you want to keep quiet for now, or anything? Is that all right? Yeah. So you've done absolutely everything from, like you said, from ground up, from ordering the metal all the way through to building to what we've got now. Yeah. So if we start at the front, so obviously bog standard front end with the bumpers, etc. But I can see something a little bit different on the suspension.
Yeah, we've gone a bit different on the suspension. Followed what Sam's sort of done. The inboard suspension, just try to keep costs down more than anything, so we don't rip shockers off. Sorry. It's got a fabricated front axle again to try and keep costs down. A lot of ideas have been took off Lee, Fairhurst, and then
Okay, and you mentioned the shocker, of course. I do like to get the opinions of the drivers because there's a lot of talk about the shockers. What's your thoughts about them?
Well, I've not really raced on them because the heritage car was on leaf springs, so I've actually personally not raced on them. It's just one of them, innit? You just got to, from what I've heard from other drivers, they don't last very long. Sam's noticed when they've gone up in the air on a car ramp, they don't last very long after that, which is a bit annoying, really. But
okay.
They're aluminium, so they're probably not strong enough for what we're doing.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. But I think we're stuck with them for another couple of years at least, I think, aren't we?
If they can build it, we're stuck with it for now. But I mean, if something comes of in the future that's a bit more stronger and robust and price less, I'm all for cost cutting.
Excellent. And then the engine, just tell us a little bit about it. What size is it? What type is it?
It's a 540. 510. Obviously, I'm not very good at that. But 510 from the heritage car. I don't really know the history of it. I'm led to believe. Was it
I think it was Andy Smith's old block. What's left of that?
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
It wasn't smoking and it sounds sweet, so we've not rebuilt it even. So it will be rebuilt after this 2019 season.
Okay.
And we do all our own rebuilds, so that's again to keep cost cutting. Andy, my uncle, I know Richard mentioned it last week when you were up there. He builds our engines, and as long as we sort of go into the garage and learn a bit, he's happy to do that, I think. So
excellent. Yeah, because I can see quite a few bits and bobs up there. It's a treasure trove, isn't it, of bits and pieces. There must be some good items up there that you can maybe use, or there's some stories behind some of those things up there.
Yeah, there's a few gearboxes up there if anyone wants to buy them off me.
Well, that's it. Yeah, get flogging on here as well. Yeah, no problem. So if anybody needs gearbox, get in touch, of course. Yeah. So let's just quickly move to the back of this one, and then we can have a look at the one that's up in the air as well. So let's have a quick look. So anything you're going to be doing different at the back, or
a bit different on? It's running on a LD back axle, which Dave Bez has helped us out with. The only real difference is the way I've mounted the pedals, really. I've sort of gone sprint car style pedals, so you sort of press down on them rather than press forward. That's about it, really. Yeah, it's a shale car, so it's all built for rear end weight, really.
Yeah, I think that the pedals are similar to our. I think Mick Sordy used to have his a bit like that, didn't they? Where they were more where you can keep your legs sat like a normal chair position rather than lying back. Yeah.
I've looked at videos and things in America, so you're sort of pressing down rather than pressing forward. I mean, it might work, might not. It might be all. We'll see.
No, I mean trying, is it? No, I mean trying. And so, when do you think this is going to be out then? Hopefully.
Hopefully, it's been sign written early March. And then it'll be ready for Kings Lynn. If it's not ready, I'll cry. Kings Lynn 30th of March, so we're aiming for both cars to be there. So
brilliant.
Yeah.
Right. And Sam, can you tell me about this one that's up in the air then? What's this one?
No?
Oh, okay.
It's Tom Harris's old car. It was I think it was Frank built car for Tom Harris in 2005, and it's in here. Neil Fitton got it, and it's been up at Neil's. And we were going to make a start on it. It was going to be a car for Neil, and for us to use on tarmac really whenever, but time sort of left us to not really. We started and then it's sort of come to a grinding halt. We started it middle of last year when my engine were out of my car. I was sat waiting to put it back in, waiting for the funds to put it back in, and we said right, we'll start with that, and ever since then it's been sat on that ramp and we've worked around it and that. But no, it will get done at one point. It's going to get rebuilt, probably be a multi-surface, mainly tarmac car in the end. But it's not our car, it's Neil's car. We were just doing it for him.
Okay.
But we basically said, well, who's going to help us with it? And basically said, look, we've not got the time to do that. So he knows that, and when we get the time, we'll crack on with it. But obviously we've got a truck to do, we've got 2 cars to do, and there's just on a list that
never enough
ends.
time. Yeah, never enough time. Just a quick comment off Chris, Big Chris. Talk about the Heritage engine. He says here he was told it was a 620 horsepower when he drove it as the Heritage car, which was at Buxton, I think, because I was there, because he put himself up on the wall. And it's because he was crap, basically. It's nothing to do with the engine side. But I did exactly the same when I raced the F1. I went up that back wall as well. It hurt. Because he's just put here, the power level exceeded his talent. Yeah. Which,
It's not slow. I was surprised. It's not. When I had a few people up I raced the Heritage car at Belle Vue, and it kept up with the top guys. So,
yes.
Considering it was on leaf springs, Sam's old tyres, because I didn't have any money to put new tyres on it. Sam's old tyres, leaf springs, it was just literally rolled. We got the car, we put 136 on it and we went racing. So yeah, it's definitely quick. So,
okay. So saying that then, so do you think both of you, do you think F1 has developed too much away from how it used to be maybe when you were kids watching it, where you could just turn up in a car with an older engine and old tyres, etc.?
Some ways I think it is. I think we've tried to grow too quickly. But other ways it's an unlimited formula.
So it's tarmac in it. Tarmac's expensive.
Yeah.
And obviously, we Mark doing tarmac last year. And Ben Riley doing it before that. I'd seen how much time. It's time more than anything on tarmac, because setting them up, they can't be wrong at all.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's the highest you can go in oval contact motorsport, and it's cost what it costs. We try and do it on a budget, a massive shoestring, and we will pick up everyone's rubbish and try and make good of it. Which, like when I raced Mark's car on tarmac, I had one of Craig Finn's old tyres, and it on the outside rear, which I got off him 2 years ago. I'd raced it for a bit, we just buffed it down and went, and it does make a difference. But at the end of the day, we try and just hold on, and sail's a bit of a leveller, especially wet sail. Don't really matter how much you spend, then you're all just holding on for sheer luck. So no, it is good, but it is expensive, but it's a commitment for us. We don't do anything else. We don't go out. We don't do anything. Every penny we get comes in here and goes out of here as well. So it is what it is, isn't it? Yeah.
But Shell's, like we said, Shell's more fun anyway, going sideways, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely. Now, there is another car outside, which we're not going to show. We'll come back to that in a second, because that's going to be sort of to do with what we're going to have a chat about motorsport with attitude in a second with you as well. So we're not going to show the car, but we'll come back to that in a moment. Just want to talk about what I, first of all, started off with Belle Vue. Obviously, just down the road from where you are now. The news that was brought out a few weeks ago about the houses going on it. And we had the chat, I don't know if you saw the interview with Steve, where he was quite honest and said it's not going to be there. It's going to be a bit of a killer for the Northwest, isn't it, when that goes?
Well, it's going to destroy us, really. It was the one, there's, 11 meetings or whatever there is around at Belle Vue, and we're within walking distance. So for us, it's like one of them. We know we don't have to put diesel in the truck. We can go racing. Some people hate it, some people love it. I personally think it's one of the best little tracks we've got. It is what it is. It is Belle Vue, but it never fails to disappoint either. It will be a massive shame if it goes. But at the end of the day, we can't dwell on the fact that things are going, because we've lost tracks before and tracks have come back. There's many tracks that we've lost if you look back in the history, but we've still managed to carry on. But at the minute, everyone seems to be dwelling on the fact we lost Coventry and we might lose Belle Vue, but we never know what's around the corner. Like Steve said, he's trying to figure out things, where we can go in the future. We've still got the tracks we've got. We might have 1 or 2 seasons where we don't have a massive selection of tracks, but if we work with what we've got, and stop thinking about all the negative, we might actually be able to move forward. If we sit and dwell on the fact that Coventry's gone forever, then like we're never going to be able to move forward, are we? So
No,
I think it's a massive shame, like Belle Vue and Coventry, two of my favourite tracks, but Belle Vue's still here for a minute. We keep trying to delay it with the petitions, we carry on, we go through all that like we did with Coventry. Let's see how far we can get it and then worry about it when it goes. But like I say, there'll be something coming around the corner. Where that or whatever that is, we don't know yet. But
And I presume it's the same sort of feeling for yourself.
Yeah,
Robert?
it'll be massive. Like Sam said, it'll be massive. I just think if we are going to sign all these petitions, which is good, you've also got to turn out at the track as well. Whether it is people say it's a dump or whatever. I personally think it is one of the best tracks we've got, because not many tracks you've got a grandstand like what Belle Vue's got.
Yeah.
If it's raining and if it's cold, you go in the grandstand, you can still see all the tracks. So I do think it is one of the best tracks, but you've got to turn up at the gates to. It's all right signing these petitions, but you've got to still turn up at the gates. So, yeah.
Okay. Because Steve said he was looking at a place in Yorkshire. We've got possibly, there's a gentleman, I can't remember his name, but he's looking at North East again, isn't it? Is it Darlington area, I think he said. So there is some hopeful positives, and the new show as well that might drum up interest with sponsors, etc., to come into the sport. So there's positives, as you're saying, Sam.
Yeah, like we said, it's people coming through the gate. We don't have big TV sponsors letting us ploughing money into us to keep the stadiums going. So if people say, oh, it's a shame, but like you say, if you don't turn up, then we've only got ourselves to blame, haven't we? But like Motorsport with Attitude, I think if it's a good little thing, to be fair, well, it's not even little, is it? But it's a good thing that NEC was dying a death, and I think getting far too expensive for those involved. So Motorsport with Attitude hopefully should be a massive thing to get new audience in, new people in, and then hopefully we'll see what comes of it.
And then they can hopefully see something else as well of yours, can't they? So, like I said, we're not going to say too much about the car, but it's been refurbished. So, just give us what you can tell us and where it's going to be on show first.
Well, it's going to be on Nimbus Motorsport show, which is which is one of our sponsors, the oil suppliers. We've had it up at Neil's. It's been rebumpered, repanelled, redone, powder coated. Billy Egan's has signed it this week. I personally think it looks absolutely class. So yeah, it'll be there. We'll show it there. The sponsors want to take all the credit for putting it on their stand and seeing it first. So yeah, we'll do that. And yeah, come along and say hello.
Because I must admit, I've had a little sneaky peek and it does look awesome. So those at home, I know somebody just put an angry face that we're not going to show it, but if you want to see it, come to the show and it'll be there on display at the Nimbus Motorsport.
Stand, yeah.
So do make sure that you come and see that at the show.
There'll be a hot rod on the show as well. Murray Motorsport, I think it is.
Murray Motorsport as well. Okay.
So yeah, there'll be the Formula One and the National Hot Rod on stand as well. So
brilliant.
Come over.
Excellent. So what we're going to do now is just take a few questions that we've had from people online. I think you've had some of them already. So one or two of these we might have already covered, but we'll just quickly go through them. So we've had anyone watching, of course. There's quite a lot of people watching. I've not had any questions off anybody yet. So please do just send us some information through, or ask anything you want to ask. Ask the price of any of those gearboxes that are up at the top. Just send us a little message now and we can let you know. So we're going to start with somebody called Rob Hughes has put a question in. When will you rebuild the Bez car?
It's been rebuilt.
All right, okay.
No, it's no. We chopped the cage off. Kingsley Thornycroft's got the cage if he ever wants to put it back together.
Right.
But no, it's still the same car. We just rebuilt it to fit me, and that's all it was. I didn't fit in it, and it is big and it's wide and it's tall and it is old. And I personally think keep them on videos and that, and let's move forward with the times. And it does look class now. But Dave still thinks it looked better back in the day, and I'm sure a lot of people who follow it will think it looked better back in the day as well. So,
excellent. Wooly's put one in. Following the transition from V8 to F1, has the team noticed a significant increase in the cost of racing, and if so, is it worth it?
No, I was skint when I had a V8, and I'm skint now. No, to be honest with you, yeah, they are a lot more expensive. And well, to be fair, some things they are, and some things they aren't. Rally tyres and a V8 now have got ridiculous, you know, and you have to buy them for V8, and they're about 70 quid, I think, and we were putting holes in them for fun. Yeah, there's some things that are cheaper, but there's some things that level out as well. There's not a massive, yeah, there is a massive amount of cost, but it's how much you want to spend. At the end of the day, I keep going until the bank says no, and then we stop. So we did the same in the V8, and we do the same in the Formula 1.
Okay, I've had a couple of live questions, thank you very much. One, Joshua BT has asked, what are your opinions, both of you, about the 2009 rule changes, build changes? So I'm guessing it's things like the MSD box on, is it big blocks I think they're on, and all this other stuff that have come in. I don't know if you've got any opinions on those?
We're both EGM, so...
Well, we're both running big blocks, so the MSD doesn't apply.
Doesn't apply, okay, excellent.
So we're not too fussed about that, really.
Okay.
Well, I'm not. I'm sure someone will come along and build a big small block or a small big block. Yeah, I'm not too fussed about the rule changes at the minute. They seem to be going
pretty much the same, aren't they,
yeah.
I think, really. At the end of the day, if you keep on top of it, you've not got a lot of work to do, have you? So.
Okay. And we had Chris on again, so he mustn't be at work today. What's the status of the Heritage car now that it's been stripped to the engine?
It's gone as a rolling chassis.
Okay.
I'm led to believe that the guy who bought it off me wants to put it back into Heritage. I'm led to believe putting an engine in it and going racing in Brisca Heritage again. Okay. So you'll probably see the car out again. We didn't change it at all. Right. Like I say, we just literally raced it, and we've always done is took the engine out and yeah, put it in a new car.
Excellent. Okay, Linky has asked about how F1 compares to V8 relating to the competitiveness of the racing. So do you think it's better racing the V8 or racing F1, and how close the cars are together? And
that's like asking if the Premier League's like the Championship, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's completely different. You grow up watching these childhood heroes, and then all of a sudden they're on your back bumper. V8 is good for what it is, but I never felt like I was doing the best I could. If you won a race, happy days, but when I won that race at Kings Lynn, it was like all dreams come true. Yeah. Stuart Smith was directly behind me, and he was one of my favourite drivers. He is my favourite driver now, and to see him in the rearview mirror when you beat him, it's one of them. Yeah. That doesn't happen in V8s, but like you say, it's a step up in it. Everyone wants to be in Formula 1, otherwise V8s would be the formula to racing, wouldn't it? So, in terms of driving, racing against people, no question, Formula 1's the one.
And that sort of carries me on to the next question, actually. So, for both of you, just one answer, really. Which driver are you most concerned about when they appear in your rearview mirror?
None.
None? Oh, that's a target on your back bumper then, isn't it?
Yeah. We've all got back bumpers, we've all got front bumpers, I'm not bothered.
No.
The annoying thing is when you see Stuart behind you in it, you know you're racing for second, or even worse than, don't you? He's the man to beat, isn't he?
Yeah.
Right. So, no, when you see him behind you on a yellow flag, you just think, man, should we pull off, or should we just get put in the wall, don't you? So.
You just got to be on your A game. When a person comes like that behind you, you just got to be on your. You know that they're not going to back down, but yeah, you just got to be on your A game. So I'm personally, we've all got front bumpers, we've all got back bumpers, but yeah.
And obviously it goes without saying, we do wish him all the best, of course. We do want to hopefully have him back out on track, and just wish him all the best. I think he's going to be at the boxing, so we might have a chat with him then. Excellent. Rob, that's about the Heritage cars. We've also mentioned that already. Yeah. Okay, this is for both of you, and I don't want to start any family fights or anything like that. Who is the better driver?
He's not.
This topic comes up many times, as you can imagine.
Can I just say, I'm not asking this, I am asking it on behalf of someone called Nick. So
no, he always used to say I was better in the minis, right. And when I started, it goes down to who's won the most, which it was me in the minis, and he admitted that. And then he always used to say to me, but you've never won in a Formula 1. So he always used to claim he was better because he'd won in a Formula 1. And then October and last year that got destroyed, so now he's got no leg to stand on.
Yeah. What you say, Rob? Yeah.
Yeah. We went more serious with the minis when Sam was racing, but it's funny. I think we're both on our day. We're both as good as each other, really. but I am better. So yeah.
This is brilliant. This is brilliant. Favourite tracks? First to watch and then race at. So if you were just spectating for a meeting, which one would you go to?
Both Kings Lynn.
Yeah.
To race at and watch.
Right.
It is the best, hands down. You know, get that close to a wall. One to watch, you never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to win either. But to race, that's the noise that you get in the car when you go down the back straight and it echoes off the stands. Phenomenal for one. And then two, you know, if you're going a bit too hard, you're going to rattle off the plating, which sounds stupid, but one of the best feelings you can have. And well, to be fair, I like Stoke as well, but I always used to love Stoke in the V8. When I won there as well, that was good. But when I run round Kings Lynn, it was something else. That feeling you get when you flick a car in at that speed, it's unbelievable.
And yourself?
Yeah, I'd probably have to say Kings Lynn as well. One of the best places to watch, Kings Lynn. Like I said before, I do like Belle Vue though, because it's down the corner. And places to race. In the Formula One, I've only really raced. I've raced Kings Lynn once, so that was good. I won there, so I'd probably say Kings Lynn best to race at as well.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, you both got screw loose if you think it's great fun hitting that fence at Kings Lynn. Best race you've been involved in? So not just results wise, but coming off the track thinking, yeah, that was a cracking race. I really enjoyed that. Any that stick out in
my best race in terms of enjoyment was the European at Coventry when I was racing the V8. I had a terrible first and second heat, and it put me last on the grid.
Right.
And it was in the car that we built, which I had a love-hate relationship with. And then for some reason it was just on song, and I came on fifth, and I just came off the track really, really impressed with the car. I felt my driving was really good, really smooth. So that probably stands out for one of my favourites.
Mine's Kings Lynn when I think I got 5th or 6th or 7th or something in the final, and it was one of them. It was every bend. I think it was James Morris I was with, and we got walled in every bend, and he walled me in. And then there was about 3 or 4 of us, and we all got into a bit of a race, and it was absolutely class. I came off, I had no idea where I'd finished, and I just pulled off, and then they were calling for the national the minute I turned the car off, and I just thought, really? We went out, I think got 3rd in the national or something, but it was one of the best. It was every bend for 16, 20 laps, whatever it was, constant, and then, to be fair, we had to race the V8 World Final the day after, and my shoulder was absolutely killing it. It was blue. But no, it was good.
Okay. I've had a question off Ozo. I don't know, that's probably not his real name, of course. Talk about Alex. Did Minis? Any idea if he's any interest returning at all? Or
he's got a bit of interest in returning.
Yeah.
He's currently at college at the minute, so we've told him that we were a bit lucky, me and Sam, because we went into it and we pulled in together. Like Sam mentioned, everything was split. I've already spoken to Alex. We've both spoken to Alex. Alex did a season in Minis, and then he's not done racing since. So we've said he's not quite ready for Formula One. We'd rather go in something smaller first. So he is looking to get into to racing, but just
F2 mod stock,
something like that, something a bit smaller first, and then just waiting on him finishing college. Really,
all he needs a job, basically.
Yeah,
he wants to do it, but he wants to go uni.
He needs funds, so he needs funds to do it. And
the deal is, if we said, well, if he helps us out for this year and probably next year, then we'll take a back seat and let him come and see what he wants to do. I've told him he don't do well. He'd never used to do hours in the garage, and then now he comes down whenever we're down. He helps when he helps, but because he had that breakout from after being 11 and he stopped. Yeah, it's hard to get into it. So I've said to him, you need to get back into it properly, get a job, and then we can do it.
Okay, and just don't know when I can ask that or not. Actually, I don't want to get lynched. Okay, if your dad could arrange sponsorship with a certain shaving company, would both of you use the shavers?
No. Are you trying to say that we've got a beard that's uncontrollable? Yeah.
So that wasn't my question. I'm trying to be a serious journalist here, you know.
That's the downfall for our racing career over there. That's the biggest problem we've got.
That one over there, Steve, yeah?
Oh, thanks.
Excellent. So we just now about just the future now. So let's have a look at this year. Of course, you're getting the cars refurbished, etc. Assuming it's concentrating on the shell again, and then
we've given time
do the other stuff
for now.
Yeah.
It didn't go so well.
You've just got to be on point with time. Like we said before, you've just got to be on top. With Shale's much more of a leveler. We've enjoyed Shale much more than over the years. Dad was a Shale driver. Andy was a Shale driver.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just miles easier for us anyway.
Thanks.
So.
And then say 2, 3, 4 years down the line, where do you think you want to be in the sport?
Not bankrupt. No, we said we're going to try and do as many meetings as we can this year.
Yep.
We missed a few at the start of last year, and we were always on the back foot last year with missing the 2 Kingsland and Belle Vue double qualifier things. We missed them, but the goal really is we need a semi-final. So if I retired after getting a semi-final, I'd be an happy man. Semi-final and blue top, and that'd be me over the moon then. So I'm not looking down the line. We need to take it as it comes. We don't know what we're going to do work-wise, money-wise, sponsorship-wise, and we couldn't do it without the sponsors. If they turn around and say no more, then that's it. No more. It goes up for sale, and that's that. So we can only look at the near future. Let's get March out of the way, and might all go peak tongue in March, and we might have no April. So we'll see what happens.
So give us a list down of the sponsors that are involved with you guys at the moment.
So we've got Torfco Race Oils, which is part of Nimbus Motorsport, Trinity Diesels, P&L Online Group. Trying to think off the top of my head. Engine Carbon Clean, Neil Fitton, ROC, Coffee Counter,
Dean, Mark, Atkins.
Yeah, Dino's Autos, Marco's Autos.
Go on, think.
We'd like to say Dad, but
He drives the truck sometimes, yeah.
what else?
Paul.
Paul Murray Watchmaking Services. Rufus Car, of course. Rufus Car Ford Garage.
But to be fair, they all give individual things. No one ever comes down and go, there you go, there's 10 grand, go and spend it on an holiday or whatever. So it's like people like Pete help us out every now and again and go, there's a tyre, and you think, and it's them little things that you think that's what you can't go racing without. Mike, who's just come down from Casters Online, he's one of them. He's helped us from, I first met him when I was 6, I think. So he's one of them. He's helped us all the way through. And Nimbus as well. They've been a great help with supplying their oils and stuff, which we obviously distribute out to certain people who are using it and their accelerators. We couldn't do it without. If any of them stopped, we'd be stuck. Dave Riley last year at Trinity Diesels, he was the reason I carried on. The engine went in for refurb, and I said to him, I can't afford the refurb. It was massively expensive. And he came up trumps and helped me out, and it was one of them. He didn't want anything back. He said to me, paint the car nice, get Brian Evans to sign it, and put my name down the side of it, which we did. But it's one of them, you just could not do it without him. Like Dave Bez as well, he keeps his toe in the water. He keeps on supplying us with things that are under his bench, and it's the little things that you think cost a tenner that people will come and drop on your doorstep, and you think, well, there's a tenner I don't have to find. And it is like that. With stock cars, there's that many tenners you have to find. You can't find them, and you have to try and live a life as well. You have to put fuel and tyres on your old car, and it's them things that everyone forgets. Everyone thinks, oh, well, that's not a lot. But when you add a lot of things up, you get a lot, don't you? So, we couldn't do it without any. If any of them stopped, we'd have to stop as well.
Okay, brilliant, excellent. So just like thank you for your time, it's been brilliant. We'll just remind people that the refurb car will be on display at the Nimbus Motorsport stand at Motor with Attitude show on the 16th and 17th of February down in Peterborough Showground, or East of England Showground I think it's called now. Get on the website, get your tickets bought, get this petition signed for Belle Vue, and now I will just finish off with... sorry?
There's another sponsor, Clarius.
Clarius, sorry, don't forget. Sorry, oh, you'll be in trouble if you forget one. So that's Clarius, brilliant.
Yeah.
So, and if anybody out there who's watching who just wants to try and help out the team, of course, please get in touch with them. There's the Jacklin Racing Facebook page.
Yeah.
You can go on there or message the lads however you want, or see them at a meeting. You know, it's same for any driver who's doing these chats and things, and every driver out on there. Anything helps, as Sam has just said. Do let them know. And we'll just have one question with Steve while he's sat here, if you don't mind, Steve. It must be good for you watching your lads in the sport that you've been involved in for such a long time as well.
Yeah, it started off with me around about 1969. So we lived not far from the old Belle Vue, and my dad used to take us there. I was around about 3 or 4 when I started. Always an ambition to race. I say the people who were my childhood heroes, I got to race with most of them, except the great Stuart. But I started racing when I was 16. And that came about by helping a guy who had been in the sport from 1969, who stopped racing in 76. But Andy was always going to race. He's actually featured in a programme for White City in 1979 under the number of 479.
Right.
But unfortunately, the engine blew up while putting the car in the trailer, and there was no race engines in those days. Well, not that we knew about anyway.
Yeah.
So we raced bangers and saloon stocks, and then from then on, we decided, after a crew meeting, we had a wild night in the pub, and we decided to build a Formula One.
Brilliant.
That was constructed from, we had a donor of a transit van, we bought some steel and we took the engine out of my Camaro.
Right.
And we went racing.
Excellent.
And sometimes I wish I think I'd left the engine in the Camaro.
So you've been involved in this mad sport ever since?
Yes, yeah.
Well, there's nothing like it, is there?
It's probably the most exciting thing you can do with your clothes on, to be honest. But yeah, it's just what it is.
Yeah.
I only gave up because it takes you longer to recover when you get older.
Yes. Yeah.
The lads love the King's Lynn Wall. Personally, I hate it.
Okay.
I've been in the Queen Elizabeth Hospital at King's Lynn
Right,
after a wall.
gotcha.
So
I think Nigel has as well, actually. Yeah. So yeah, I know what you're saying.
So yeah. I say it does take you longer to recover.
Yeah.
You don't bounce back as quick as what you did. So, but the lads keep telling me I'm doing it wrong these days. But hey, that's technology and progression for you.
Brilliant. Cheers, Steve. Thank you.
Problem.
Excellent. So we'll just finish off by saying thank you to the lads again. Any mechanics and names you want to shout out, just for people giving you hand at meetings and things?
We are desperate for mechanics, so if you want to do help at the meetings and in the evenings, there's a few. Dad's waving his arms like mad, but he's hardly ever here. So, Andy, my uncle,
Big
helps
Chris,
us.
the main one.
Big Chris, he helps us at the meetings. Vinny
and Carl think they do
and
some
Carl
of
outside,
reality
yeah.
check.
If you do want to help us at the meeting, please come over and help us.
over.
If it's just a change of tyre or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Excellent. Well, appreciate your time. Thank you very much for offering to do this. It's been really good. The viewing figures have been really good as well for people watching. We'll get this video on the usual places. Be on YouTube. It's going to be on the Jacklin Racing page. It'll be on Motorsport with Attitude page. Be on Stocksnet link. Will be on there later on this afternoon when I get home. So if you want to rewatch it again, then you can certainly do that. So we're going to say goodbye for now. Probably won't be one next week because I'm not getting one lined up yet. But I am waiting for the Waymans to come back and Lee Fairest as well. So we'll be doing them over the next couple of weeks. So we'll be having a chat with them as well. So if there's just going to say goodbye for now and thank you for watching. Thank you very much.